Hey guys, so we're going to do some doodling. Doodling is one of the most funnest things that I like to do. So let me just clear this. Why can't I? Oh, whatever. We'll just make a new layer. Okay. So this is pretty simple. I'm going to show you how I start some fun doodles. So we'll do a few different shapes. So we'll do one like that. We'll do one like this, and then we'll do one like this. Okay, so we have our three shapes here, and you can do any shapes you want, but if you want to follow along, just do these general shapes. So I'm going to do some ears now because I like to draw ears. So we have one set of ears like that. And these are good ears to practice. You come off like that and then come around, because then you can put this little flap of the back of the ear here, and that just makes a nice ear. Makes a good looking ear. So let's say for this guy, we'll do smaller ears on the top of his head, like that. And then for this one, we'll do let's do really tall ears. And we do our little faux hair in the ears. This one we'll color in. Okay, so just to slow that down, any shape that you do, ears are very important for your characters or your animals. So if it's a human, the ears can be down here. You can just do something like that. And you want to make sure the eyes, you don't want the eyes to be too high or too low. So you want the top of the eyes to be around here. So you want most of the ear to be below the eye for humans. I always do a triangle for the nose, and I sort of round it out. Then you can do the mouth, things like this for humans. But anyway, we'll stick with our little animal characters. Okay, so now that you know how to do some ears, when you want to go about making a face, the first thing that I usually do is a center line, and then I figure out where I want the eyes to be. And for eyes, I make a dome, and then I bring it back to the center line. So this functions as like the eye socket. And then another thing that I do is I make a little diamond, like a round little diamond for the nose area. So this will show how big or how small we want the nose to be. It can be bigger, or it can be longer, like it can be something like that. But I always start out with this on the center line. Okay, so we're gonna give him a mouth first. So I'm not sure how big I want the nose to be yet, but I do want him to be smiling. So I'm gonna make a nice big smile. That comes up close to this line here. And I'm just gonna make little cheeks like that. Now for the eyes, we're going to start out with just 2 circles. And then you can use the eyebrows to give him some emotion if you want him to be sad. Or angry. Things like that. Okay, so we have our eyes. I'm going to do his little eye sockets, which is something I always do. I always do these round eye sockets. And let's see, I'm not sure what emotion I want to have. And we'll make him sort of being a rascal. So we'll do one. So I'm going to change the shape of this to come down like that. And then I'll complete his little eye socket area. And this one will keep up. Okay, and I'll give him a little bit of a bottom eyelid. And then I'll draw the top of his eyes. Real thick line here, real thick line here on the outside. And we'll give him some eyes. And now we can figure out his nose. Do we want his nose down here? Or do we want to give him a bigger nose? I think I like the bigger nose. If you're going to keep his mouth shut, then all you have to do is just do a little bit of a bottom lip there. If you want to do it open, you can just do little teeth, maybe a little tongue in there, and just make the rest dark. We'll even darken up the tongue a little bit. Okay. Now we'll just round out the rest of his little round head. I'll clean this up a little bit and just take away some of this sketch that we don't need, just so we can see our little character better. And then I'll just use Sketchmaster 2 and just color in this little eye socket area, his nose, make the bottom a little bit darker. And I'll make his underneath his mouth a little bit darker too. And we'll give his ears a little bit of color. So that's one. He's like a fat little mouse or something like that. Give him some little, just make it look like he's got some hair there. Or fur, I should say. Okay, so now this guy, we gotta figure out where we want the rest of his face. So we'll do the center line down here. Let's give him a big forehead maybe. So I'm going to do that big dome and make his eyes close together. Okay. And how about a small little snout? So when I do this snout, if I want to make the bottom part of a snout, then I just extend that. So then I can put the nose here, and I can use this for the mouth. So let's say his mouth is somewhat open like this. And what about a big sort of bear type nose? Bears have noses that sort of look like mushrooms a little bit. So I just kind of use that to get my bear nose right. And I'm going to shade it in a darker color. Okay, so I'm going to make this little snout. Okay. Give him a little bit of hair here. And what kind of expression do we want to give him? We'll just give him sort of a shocked, bewildered expression. So I'm going to make this arch a little bit darker like I always do. And We'll give him some big eyes. We'll do the little eyelid that I always do on all my characters. You just bring it right off, and you make them point each other, like that. And of course, we can't forget the eye sockets that I always do. So, just bring these up, come around. So now he's got the eye sockets. Now let's give him some big eyebrows. Some big, sort of confused eyebrows. Something like that. Okay, so that's sort of like a confused sort of bear face. And we can do our little eraser, where we bring the eraser down to 30%, and all we're doing is erasing. And I'll just give his eyes some highlights at 30%, and then I bring it up to 100%, and then I just do this little mark here. That always looks kind of nice. And I'll do that a little slower, just so you can see that part of it. If we have the eye here, then we make the dark part of the eye. I always make this darker, and I just like to put that little touch there. The little bit that comes off. And then I'll take the eraser. You can also do it with white. If you want to do it with a paint, you can just make that white. I'll choose Butterblade because it's small. 30% opacity. And I just make a nice jelly bean right here. And then I bring the opacity back up to 100. And then I do this little pop of light. I do that with all the eyes that I do. Okay, so last but not least, let's see what we can do with this little fella. It feels to me a bit like a deer. Whoops, let me change back to red. So, I'll just alter this face a little bit, almost like a drumstick. Okay. So now for the eyes, make the dome here, and we'll bring it back to the center line. Sometimes you can see I do it out of order. We have the dome back to the center line, like so, and we'll give him nice big eyes. Nice big almost like half dome eyes. Make this nice and dark. And let's make him looking over here. Okay. And the whole thing would be his snout, so I can make that nice and long. And then deers have sort of square noses. So I'm going to make the nose square. And then I'll just use Sketchmaster 2 and then make that nice and dark. There's a nice dark square nose. I'll just make his little eye sockets, like I always do. And then we'll make what sort of looks like eyebrows. And then I'll color in. I always darken this eye socket area. It just gives the face some depth. Go back to Sketchmaster, and we're going to go back to our eraser, and we'll do our little eye thing where we erase at 30%. Just give him some jelly beans here. Bring it up to 100%, and we'll make this little mark in there. And let's see if we can cheat a smile. Just bring it up here. have to give him a little bit more chubby cheeks, just to sort of help out that smile. And that's just an easy way to kind of cheat a smile. And you can do these with any shape. It's good to just practice different shape, practice different size eyes. You can even take the select tool, and freehand, and you can experiment with different sizes. I wanted to make his face bigger, like that. So there's lots of things you can do. Experiment with different mouth shapes. Oops. See, there's tons of things that you can do with this. You can use your eraser and you can change a lot by just even erasing away. You can change that. You can change their expression by just... Oh, now he looks really sad there. I don't want him to look sad. And sometimes you can even add the lower eyelid. But just practice your little characters, and just practice with different shaped eyes, different shaped mouths, different shaped ears, different shaped heads. And it's a good way to just kind of get out of your comfort zone. You know, you can even do really big shapes. You can do really odd shapes like this. So we'll make the dome, make the area for the nose, and since this shape will one eye, two eyes, you know, you can really go crazy with it. But it's fun to just doodle and just come up with different shapes without thinking too much into it. So hopefully that was interesting. Hopefully you got something out of that. I love doodling. I love sketching. And, you know, if you do a lot of animals from reference, then you'll pick up different tips and tricks yourself, shapes of the ears, shapes of the noses. It'll just really expand your ability to do really cool and interesting doodles. So just keep going and keep drawing, and you'll just continue to get better and better. So, alright guys, I will see you in the next video. Thank you so much for watching the video. I really appreciate you. Be sure to like and subscribe. Follow me on Instagram at DrugFreeDave. And don't forget to join my private Facebook group, Procreate Tutorials and Guidance. Check me out on Facebook. Hopefully I'll see you guys soon. And as always, keep drawing, and I'll see you in the next video.